the wonders of water, and the magic of music, coming together to create something beautiful. This is the Grand Haven Musical Fountain.
And today we are getting a true behind-the-scenes look at everything it takes to bring this awe-inspiring spectacle to life. When it's time to start the show, is it as simple as pressing a button?
It's as simple as pushing play on the computer over there.
Starting the show might only require just a tap of the finger, but getting to that point is not as simple.
This song is 3 minutes long and probably took more than 3 hours to make.
Wow.
Terry Stevens, the fountain's engineer, giving me an idea of just how complex things can get behind the scenes.
Hydraulics, pneumatics, the water, the lighting, the sound, automation control system.
So you can enjoy a smooth experience across the river.
A nice family-friendly tradition to come out to Grand Haven and walk the boardwalk, get some ice cream, and watch the musical fountain.
Sounds to me like a perfect night, and that's exactly what the fountain's creator had in mind.
Take me back to 1962. Where did this idea come from in the first place?
Dr. William Creason, he's in Germany after the war providing dental services to the troops, and he went to a nightclub in Berlin where they had a small fountain and an organ, and he came back with that idea.
Creason eventually became the mayor of Grand Haven and then had the grand idea to create his own musical fountain. Except this one wouldn't be in a nightclub. It would be halfway up a sand dune, and instead of 12 feet long, it would be 200.
The goal was to use this as a catalyst to beautify the waterfront, which at the time was undeveloped.
It's good that he came back with such a simple idea, of course, a realistic one.
Well, it always blows my mind when I think about the audacity to do this halfway up a sand dune in 1962 without modern tools, without modern computers.
When it was installed, this was the largest fountain in the world. It's made up of 7 smaller fountains with hundreds of nozzles and 70 valves that pump out 4,000 gallons of water a minute. The original budget was $17,000. The final bill? $150,000. But who cares about the structure if the show itself isn't just as impressive?
Can you shed some light on how challenging it might be to bring something like this to life year after year?
What people don't realize is how complex it is. I've actually sat in the stadium and heard one person ask another, do you think they use colored water? And it is so much more complicated.
We wanted to see that firsthand, so we followed Terry underground to get a true taste of what it takes to put on a show.
We're in the pump room, and what we're seeing here is we have 3 pumps, 200 horse and a 75 horsepower pump that pump the water out of the pit at the bottom of the pond and then recirculate it through all the valves behind me.
No one's in there during a show, but in the control room next door, 2 volunteers are hard at work.
What happens in this room on show night?
Okay, so this is where the fountain operator actually runs the show. Over here on the desk we have the desktop computer. This is the playback system that allows him to pick the show for the evening.
They have 19 weekday playlists, 10 weekend playlists, and 10 themed shows like Frozen or the 60-year celebration.
For a single show, how many hours does it take and how many months in advance do you have to prepare to make sure it's ready?
Shows are about 25 minutes long. They have typically 5 songs, maybe 6, and each song takes anywhere from 3 to 10 hours to produce.
And there's so much to consider when putting these shows together. The lighting, the colors, the water, the music itself. How difficult is it, and you know better than anyone else, to sync all of that up together?
We have a choreography software that has a simulator, so it allows you to play your song back and see what it's going to look like on the fountain.
Enough talking about it. I wanted to see it all in action.
2 minutes before the show, we need to turn on the pumps. So Max, let's turn on the pumps.
Let's turn on the pumps.
So with Terry's guidance,
Over here, we're gonna go start the hydraulic system.
Okay.
and my natural gift of following directions,
So up here, turn the hydraulic pump on, turn that on.
Right here?
Yep. Okay, pretty much good to go now. Now let's go down here and hit the play button.
This is so exciting and so simple.
we brought the show to life.
3, 2, 1, bang.
simulation of the fountain. What we just saw on the fountain is now playing on the simulator. Atop are what the water's doing, and the graph below is what the lights are doing. These codes at the top are actually what's being sent to the fountain. This is the data that tells the fountain what to do.
It couldn't look more boring from this view.
You can see, this is the time stamps.
I mean, this is as behind the scenes as it gets, right?
Yeah.
Down to the code.
Pretty crazy to think this magical display is made by just a few numbers on a computer. And don't forget, light travels faster than sound, and that's an element they have to consider too.
We have to send the sound out in advance. In fact, we send it 0.7 of a second in advance. The speakers are down there by the river, but the audience is 800 feet or so away from the speakers, so it takes about 0.7 of a second for the sound to get there.
The fountain has been through a few updates in its 60-year history, made the switch to LED lights in 2013, upgraded the speakers and the amplifiers in 2019, but most of what you see here looks just like it did on day one, providing people with pure poetry in motion for 6 decades strong.
It's only fitting with a picture-perfect backdrop like this, we capture the moment with a picture. Ready for a selfie?
Sure.
Let's do it.
How do we do it?
Just smile, and it's that simple. 3, 2, 1. And there she is.
Wow.
So as you can see, this production is nothing short of special. I mean, we even got a rainbow behind us right now. Are you kidding me? This is freaking awesome. But don't just take it from me. You got to come check this out yourself. Here's a little taste.
Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's performance of the Grand Haven Musical Fountain.